sorry, maybe Bukowski as well can get his area hammered down because he tripped while playing a pull shot. So just wonder whether it was because of some kind of a dent where he was batting. It can be very uncomfortable sometimes, especially in England, where on day 3 and 4 it took strike. There used to be a little hollow thing there, and to just completely put your balance off. Play resumes. Australia lead by 9-9, but no, again there's something else that stopped play. The amount of interruptions that we've had during the course of today's play, twice because of injury, can't be held. Okay, just stick around because this is something interesting. We are analysing two fast bowlers, Indian fast bowlers.
You can see on the left of your screen, Bumrah. Everyone keeps talking about speed that he generates, the brace leg. Look at his release. It's almost in front. Cuts down the distance that he gets to the batsman quicker. Siraj on the other hand collapses a little bit, but not too bad. Again, that's why they can have a lot more consistency, repetitive, but Bumrah is just exceptional.
It's a great spot, Ajit. Let's have a look at it again. So viewers watching this now, first thing you watch, as Ajit said, is watch just the leg, the front brace of Bumrah. When we say front brace, it's almost like ramrod straight, and that's how he gets his pace. Forget about the delivery action or the hand first. Just have a look at the leg on the left and the collapsed front leg of Siraj.
Yeah, loses a little bit of height, Siraj. Bumrah doesn't lose anything. And then the arm, almost like a slingshot.
Lovely shot. It's one of his favourite shots. Anything short of length, he's already in that position to play the shot. Got to get him to come forward like how he got out in the first innings.
Just pitches his shot a little bit and bit of room from Bumrah. I think the confidence now, after getting that 50 in the first innings, and easy pace pitch as well. Did carry through a little bit in the first innings.
You have to go back to that split screen after this ball, because that's a revelation for me. Bumrah's release as to how it is much further than Mohammad Siraj. Almost a foot and a half, you would think. So just watch where Bumrah's arm is. The ball has not yet left him. And look at the crease where the foot is, and look at where the ball is. And Siraj is on top of the crease. So he's almost a foot ahead when he releases the ball. So that means lesser time for the batsman.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of the batsmen are surprised with the change in lengths that he can deceive the batsman with, and the speed, obviously, because it's reaching the batsman from a lot closer. And Siraj isn't too bad, and a lot of the bowlers like Siraj do sort of collapse and lose height a little bit. Mitch Stark, in spite of being as tall as he is, tends to do that as well. That's why Bumrah's a little bit special, and all the quick bowlers and really quick bowlers have that braced front leg.
Brett Lee being one of the more famous examples, you think. Last ball of the over. 3 was gone. It's 9 for no wicket, Australia. Oh, there you go, the uneven bounce. Something Glenn McGrath thought would happen on day 3. He said that on the afternoon of day 2. Nobody knows the pitch better than him.
That certainly has kept a lot low. New ball, decent length. kept well low. Yes, Warner would be worried, but I think the Indian batsman would be worried a lot more.
The effect of the roller has quickly gone on.
I think it's disappeared.
It lasted about 2.5 overs, I guess. There's the drive, finds the fielder. That's why cricket in Australia is so interesting. Doesn't happen as much with drop-in pitches, but come day 4 and 5, those cracks start coming into play. Batted in 92 at Perth, and there was one crack right on off-stump that was about an inch thick, no exaggeration. And I played a ball where Merv Hughes actually pitched the ball on short of length and went straight to first slip. Jack so much from that crack. So watch out for the uneven bounce.
Perth's famously known for that to happen as the game progressed. Sometimes you should start with already a crack in it. But we heard the ground as well. It seemed to be a little bit on the drier side when it started this pitch.
David Warner is a fighter. He'll put all that behind him. Very similar to Steve Smith when it comes to just application. Every ball. So Australia may have won an important toss here. Now when you look back at things, 338. They were destined or maybe set at one time when you had those two batting together. You get over 400, so India came back superbly. Jadeja getting that wicket of Labuschagne was an important breakthrough. And India's batting has failed this time round. It's amazing that he's found the gap amongst the crowd of fielders on the offside. Got another substitute fielder.
Touch short on that occasion. Alright, Australia got to 338 on the back of their two best players getting the runs. India needed somebody to get that kind of score to get close to that Australian total. I like the way the Indian bowlers have started. You can easily be a little bit more desperate when you start with the new ball. You're behind. They've been patient. Create one chance.
Why is everyone stumbling over after playing a shot? David Warner now, 12 for no wicket.
Off stump.
Right, they lead by 106 runs. We've seen already one ball keep low, so India have to ensure Australia don't get too many in the second innings, and India perfectly capable of getting this Australian team all out within but a reasonable score, considering they've got 4 top-class bowlers. We're not sure about Jadeja. He's not on the field. Mayank Agarwal has come in as substitute. He's coming round the wicket, as used to Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson to David Warner in England. That ball coming back in.
More to use the angle. Didn't swing from over the stumps as much as the first innings. There have been a few injuries this series. Whether it's getting hit with the ball, Umesh pulling a calf early in that second innings. Pant again today. Bad spot on that elbow. And then Ravindra Jadeja towards the end. Hopefully that's not a bad one, because India will need him in the second innings to bowl.
Well played. Kept that bat very close to the body. Yeah, such a blessing in disguise that India playing 5 bowlers. Last game as well. Jadeja contributed with the bat. Got a few wickets as well. Now that he's off the field, and even if he doesn't bowl, India have got 4 good bowlers to have a crack at the Australians. Let's see what Saini does. He was hardly bowled in the first innings. You can see the body language of David Warner has the second best strike rate in the last few years at the test level after Virendra Sehwag.
You can see that again, ball keeping slightly low. At the moment it's not happened from the stumps, but as the game progresses there will be an odd one which does that within the pitch, the wickets. It's only going to get worse as the game progresses. Australia have 4 quicks, much taller than the Indian bowlers, which makes it a lot more challenging for the batsmen.
That's why I think maybe Rane could try Saini a little more, especially when there's not much swing for people like Siraj, and use Bumrah more as a strike force rather than a stock sort of bowler. Ashwin can do the holding job and get the wickets also in between. Maybe have a good look at Saini in the second innings, just because he has something different to offer with his height.
I agree with you. Siraj has started well, so what India would ideally like is at least a wicket here, just to get everyone going. You can see Warner being very watchful in this innings as well.
As the pitch gets slow, we talk of spinners. Jadeja is somebody that India needs because he bowls quickly. Good delivery, good leave as well. 5 overs gone. It's 14 for no wicket. You can see Pukovsky, when he takes guard, is well outside the leg stump, and then he comes in that fashion. I just wonder whether he's changed his stance, whether he's standing a little more outside the leg stump. Be that as it may be. Numbers game, the highest strike rate since 2010. I mentioned it fleetingly just a little while earlier. Virendra Sehwag, what a player he was. Huge fan.
Yeah, who isn't? I mean, that sort of strike rate at the top of the order. That's why Warner and Sehwag both always have had such a big say in how the game panned out. It's a lot of runs at that strike rate. 7,000 plus runs. In Test cricket, that sort of strike rate was a good one about 20 years back in one-day cricket.
Look, Stuart Broad has no right to be in that list. But obviously they've taken 2,000 runs. He's played for a long time, so he qualifies. But he'll be feeling so good. Let's take a picture of this and send it to him. Okay, he's along with David Warner, Sehwag.
You don't like any bowlers representing?
Sorry, didn't catch that, Ajay. Sarfraz Ahmed is a surprise. Would have thought so. Gavaskar is looking good. Oh, they've run two. Ashwin was after the ball, should have been just one, I think.
Especially with Warner trying to look after his injury. That's the other thing India need to be mindful of. Australia did well today, took every chance that came their way. 3 run-outs. He has got to create some opportunities in the field as well.
Yeah, a lot of talk about him moving far too across in the offside. So maybe Will Pukovski has made a slight adjustment to his stance. If you see the toes on the left-hand side, his back leg and focus on the toes, they're just about leg stump. On the right-hand side, second innings, way away from the leg stump. In fact, about maybe a couple of inches he's gone further away from his stumps. Got the most perfect angle to have a look, and that's gone. That's gone. Mohammad Siraj again gets that ball to move off the pitch, and this is a great start for India.
Absolute beauty. Just off a good length. Not too much wrong that the batsman's done. That's the ability that Siraj has. Bowl wicket-taking balls. Again, in the stumps. It's an absolute beauty. And Saha behind the stumps. Exactly the wicket that India needed. He's done it again with the new ball.
And it's got to be caught substitute Saha. Incredible. Will Pukovski gone for 10. Just what India needed. An early dose of optimism. 16 for 1. Well, as you said, Ajit, just a little while earlier, India need an early wicket just to believe that they can make a match happen here. Try and get this or skittle Australia out in the second innings.
Labuschagn's in. He's got a good innings in the first one. 17 games into his career, short career, average is nearly 60 with 400s. He's been the biggest find for Australia over the last couple of years. How impressive has Siraj been? Second test into his career. Always helps when you had a body of work behind you. Played a lot of red ball cricket coming into before playing his first test, and it shows.
Gets off the mark straight away. Could be a couple of runs. Substitute fielder running after it. Saha being a substitute wicketkeeper. Interestingly, that catch will not go in his record, as it's the rule with substitutes. It's 18 for 1.
There's a clean pair of hands shown by the substitute keeper, William Saha, who is coming in for Rashad Hunt, taking that catch behind the stumps. And a reminder to all fans to protect your team with clean hands. Get to this proud to support the 2020-21 summer cricket season as the official bludgeon partner of Cricket Australia.
As Warney said, if they can get 3 or 4, it's a big part of the game, this.
It's nicely driven by Warner. Doesn't take off at his usual speed. And the old adage, save your legs, is never more important than it is for David Warner at the moment.
I think India will be a little concerned at Bumrah's wicket-taking ability of the first new ball. He seems to get more wickets with the second than with the first. But what India need at the moment is for him to strike early. Warner plays shots like these.
This session's the game, Harsh. This session will decide this game, which way it's going to go. 35 overs to go after this. If Australia can make another 100 runs today and they're 1 or 2 down for 200-run lead, maybe even 220-run lead with plenty of wickets in hand, then India are going to be in real trouble with plenty of time left in the game. Where if India can get 3 or 4 wickets tonight and have Australia 4 or 5 down tonight with a lead around that 180 mark, suddenly it's game on.
And they've got to believe that the last session that they lost wasn't the game. They've got to turn that last session around. They lost 21 for 5 and come storming back. So it's a big test. And they've got a few bruised team members.
They have passed that test throughout the series though, Isha. They passed it after Adelaide, and then after the first day when Australia were piling on the runs for only a couple of wickets down, they answered it again on day 2. So they've responded brilliantly whenever challenged throughout the series.
They've now got to get themselves in situations where they don't have to respond to the challenge but lead the test match. So sometimes when you're on tour, you can start to think things are going against you, players getting injured, trouble over the next test match is going to be, discussions there going on. So I think this man's got a big role to play, Rahane.
As Howie said, Harsha, India have already showed they've got great character in this team. They bounced back after 36. Their performance in Melbourne showed this group has got a lot of character. It's got a lot of courage, this Indian team. And although it hasn't gone their way today, this is big, this last session. This is when this character comes. But they need someone like a Bumrah to drag them with them. Will it be an Ashwin or maybe a Jadeja to drag the rest of the team with them? Make the team believe. Say, come on, boys, we can do this. We're not out of this.
That's why that first wicket was so important.
Just come in.
Yeah, true. That's why that first wicket was so important.
Warner starting to look pretty compact.
Australia looking very closely at Warner here, isn't it? Is Warner fit enough to play the next test match? Can he go and start the next test match? What if he gets runs here, but he's still ginger in the field? But if he gets runs here, he'll get them so quickly that he can take the game away very quickly. So India need that wicket, maybe even more than they need the informed Labuschagne. No Jadeja on the field either. No Pant on the field.
Nicely driven from Warner. Positive shot, positive call. And they settle for 2, and that was Ravi Jadeja not on the ground. So there are injury concerns. We'll address those shortly. 1 for 24 from 7. The Sydney pitch obviously gets more difficult to bat on.
Pant, of course, waiting on scans.
gee. Yeah, for those that didn't see exactly what was going on in the Indian innings, there was a couple of nasty blows. Saha, who took that last catch, he's out there because Rishabh Pant has gone for scans on an elbow. That's a really nasty blow. He did bat on, but was dismissed reasonably shortly afterwards.
Oh, it's a nasty one, that right on the point of the elbow.
Pulled hard and pulled well from Labuschagne.
That's a beauty. That's a touch of class there from Marnus Labuschagne. Not an easy pitch to play the horizontal bat shots with that variable bounce. Got himself into a good position. Looks in a hurry too, Marnus Labuschagne.
How do you play this one? You can't budget for the variable bounce, can you? You've just got to assume the bounce is true. Maybe try and get forward as much as possible. Just bowl good lengths as much as possible.
The key as a bowler in these conditions is you want to make the batsman play good shots to good ball. You just got to be relentless with your consistency. You've got to have energy behind the ball to hammer it into the turf and make the wicket do something in reality. If you just put the ball up there and expect the wicket to do something, it won't give you anything. But if you slam it into that pitch hard that we saw Cummins and Hazelwood do, then you will get that response. And Bumrah, Sani, Siraj, they can all do it. They just got to do it for a prolonged period of time. You've just got to trust it. Just trust your technique and trust it. And if you get one, you get one. You can't worry about it. You've got to put it out of your head.
Yeah, maybe bowl wicket to wicket a little more from the bowling point of view. Just bowl wicket to wicket in case this variable bounce, it suits you.
Just showing the injury to Rishabh Pant, who we told you were getting scanned. Just saw Jadeja there with the thumb strapped up. He was also the recipient of a nasty blow from Mitchell Starc. So they already lost Shami on the tour, KL Rahul also with an issue, and Umesh Yadav as well. They're walking wounded at the moment, India. The squad depth is really being tested. Labuschagne defends, 4 from the over, 1 for 28.
Change the bowler for India from the Paddington end. Coming the bowler, Navdeep Sani.
Wouldn't be enough time, would there? He can't come back with a quarantine. He'd have to 14-day quarantine, wouldn't he?
Well, the reason he's left hasn't yet sort of produced the outcome. So there's no point.
News yet.
No news yet. No white smoke from the chimneys yet.
I'm sure that'll be reasonably big news when the developments do develop.
Absolutely. We wish them all the best, the Kohlis. I hope it happens soon. Well, if Jadeja's thumb that we just showed you has been affected, it looked like it had heavy tape around his thumb. So if that's a real issue and he cannot bowl, then that man there, Ravi Ashwin, he's going to have a huge job to do. He had a big role anyway, but even bigger with no Jadeja, because I think Jadeja would bowled beautifully on this pitch in these conditions. He bowled well in the first innings. He took 4 wickets. He got 4 for 62 off his 18, and he was economical too. And really was a handful, looked threatening as soon as he came on. So even bigger responsibility now on Ashwin.
Plus his ability to bat as well, Jadeja. Runs are required in a chase.
Pant and Ashwin, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Two of their more free-flowing batsmen.
Exactly what I meant. India might have to go to Brisbane and go back to a 4-bowler strategy and play a 6th batsman. If for some reason Pant is not available, then if Jadeja is not available as well, that's even worse. But if Pant is not available and the turnaround time is not very large, then they'll have to go back to Saha, play a 6th batsman maybe. KL Rahul's gone. So all these things can sometimes pile up on tour. Do they go back with Mayank Agarwal at the top of the order? Do they give Hanuma Vihari some more games? There's a few questions to answer if this session doesn't go India's way.
Prithvi Shaw still in the touring squad. Yep. To play in the first test match. Oh, that's wide. And Marnus is not going to let that pass him by.
No, that's help yourself stuff. You can't bowl that on this side of a pitch. We're just talking about it. You've just got to be relentless with your line and length around that off stump, but no freebies. And that's what we've seen of Sani. Even in the first innings, just a few of his bad balls were short and wide. And at this level, bowling that sort of delivery to class players like Marnus Labuschagne, you're going to get hurt.
Australia moving the game along as well. 33 off just 8.3 overs.
Just under 4 and over.
He's a fidgety player, isn't he, Marnus Labuschagne? He's always talking. He's got a very loud call from the non-strikers end. Harvey, you know him well. What kind of person is he?
He's full of life. He's like
I can imagine.
Expect. He's always got a smile on his face. Isha, he's always Harsha. He's always up for a chat. He's bounces around. Some protection out there now. Everything you see in the middle is what type of personality you would expect him to be, Harsha.
Is he a bit in your face sometimes?
No, I wouldn't say he's in your face. I just think he's got an infectious personality where he loves talking about cricket. He loves talking about anything that enthuses him. He's 110% into.
And he loves batting.
Yeah, and he loves batting.
He's looking good today.
He's looked good off the back foot, hasn't he?
That's the other thing. Both Labuschagne and Smith have got runs behind them.
This game's starting to move along reasonably quickly at the moment. 1 for 35 from 9.
Membership 1 benefits अनेक. Amazon Prime, ad-free music, blockbuster movies, free delivery और बहुत कुछ सिर्फ ₹129 per month.
we didn't get the opportunity in the first innings to see David Warner and his movement against the slower bowlers shown.
Yeah, we were talking pre-game, weren't we, about that might be an issue, that long stride to defend against the spinner. Sweeping to be an issue.
Well, you'd imagine Warner will go upstairs and does. What do you think, Shane?
My initial thoughts were it might have been just sliding down.
It's a fair delivery. Can I start with spin vision, please?
I don't think it's too high, Howie, because he was right down. But it was an awkward sweep. That's what we're just saying. You're just saying it could be an awkward sweep with his injury.
Yeah, it looks pretty clear. Can I have leg side hotspot, please? Don't see any mark on the bat. Can I have RTS, please? You've got a flat line going past. Is it going through? Keep rolling it through into the pad, please. Into the body. Thank you. I'm satisfied that there's no bat involved here. Can we go to ball tracking when it's ready, please? Okay, Pistol, here we go. Impact is in line and wickets is umpire's call. Steve, I'll get you on screen and you can reconfirm the end of decision. You're on screen now.
Great start from Ashwin. Can he be the man for India? 2 deliveries, 1 wicket. Australia 2 for 35.
Yeah, the 10th time Ashwin's been able to knock over Davey Warner. You just asked the ball before what's going to be hard. We said the long defensive stride out and the sweep could be a bit awkward. It just looked a bit awkward. It's an umpire's call. Paul Rifle gave it out. He thought it was hitting the stumps. He didn't think it was too high. And on live, he didn't think it was too high either. But Davey Warner will be disappointed with that. He's gone for 13. And Australia 2 now for 35.
New batsman making his way to the crease for Australia, Steve Smith.
Two very evenly matched teams. But this is the moment. Who can hold their nerve? Who can break through? Who can do something special at this moment when the team needs you? Who can grab the game by the scruff of the neck and take it? What team?
Remember the first innings when he gave Labuschagne a single to bowl at Smith?
Yeah. Good call, Harsh.
Leg slip comes into position. So
Not
now
to see if he's getting the drift, though. Yeah, the drift.
Made him get down to the knee before Paul Rifle went with the finger.
One of those ones that could have gone either way. It didn't look high, they did it live.
Looked out live, didn't it?
Yeah, you can understand why Paul Rifle gave it. It looked out live.
That's the positivity from Smith immediately again against Ashwin that we saw in the first innings.
Good to see he's using his feet to the spinners. That's exactly how good players of spin do it. Use your feet, come down to the pitch. It's also a sign of confidence.
Oh, Marnus not so convincing. Just a touch of drift there. Left him stranded for a moment. Nice work by Saha. But Jara's not happy with the throw that came back in. 2 for 39 after 10.
Despite that unsuccessful challenge by Australia in that over, they still retain all three of their unsuccessful challenges due to it being umpire's call. India also have 3 unsuccessful challenges remaining.
Jadeja back out there.
I think they also want more from Bumrah with the new ball, though. Only 10 overs gone. Moves a foot there, moves a foot. He's moving around, Jadeja.
What they might have had to do with Jadeja, when you initially get hit like that, especially as it's on your bowling hand, you actually just want to get it iced up straight away and just try and stop that swelling and the bruising. So if you get your ice on straight away, it just calms down. Even though then the initial 15-20 minutes after that, you feel like you can't move your thumb, but then suddenly the feeling and everything comes back a little bit. So they might have just wanted to get that ice straight on, let him get the feeling back and then come back out there. Just get that first initial ice straight on where the impact was. Don't touch it, it just starts to throb and get big, and that really would affect his bowling. They're probably trying to stop that swelling so he can still maybe bowl a ball. What will be interesting to see is whether the Australians will allow him to bowl with that tape on his ball. You're not meant to have that when you're bowling.
Is that the law or just a convention? Can Australia say we don't mind? Having said that,
I'm not sure if it's a law or a playing condition, but I'm not sure. I don't think you're allowed to bowl with tape on your fingers or hand because it's meant to give you an advantage.
Yep. Having said that, I mean, how good is the ruling that came in a few years ago that your substitute can keep wickets and field in a specialist position? I remember all those years ago when oppositions could specify where the substitute cannot field.
Flirting outside off stump.
Yeah, if something happened to your wicketkeeper not that long ago, then you could never replace with a wicketkeeper. Someone just had to, get the gloves and that on and try and do the best they could.
We're out at the end of the over. Harsha, I wish you were here beside us, but lovely to see you again all the way over there in Mumbai.
Pleasure. It's a great session coming up, as Warnie said, so we're watching eagle-eyed.
It's good over. A maiden. Saini 2 for 39 after 11.
Day 3 of the test match here, the pink test. For an appeal there. Ashwin was confident once again.
Sliding down the leg side. Good change of pace though from Ashwin. This will be missing stumps clearly. Oh, that's a shocker. That is a shocker.
He got talked into that, didn't he?
I think it's his swinger.
Yeah,
it seems. I think he thinks it might have been going on. Ashwin. Rahane doesn't think so. Yeah.
Not out. It's fair delivery. Can I start the spin vision, please?
Oh, normally you follow the keeper.
That looked like it's missing a leg by at least another stump.
Yeah. Ashwin's convinced him of the swinger.
The bat crosses over ball. Can't really tell with that. Can I go to leg side hotspot, please? Yeah, I can see no hotspot on the bat there. Follow it through just a little, another frame or two. No, nothing there. RTS, please. And yeah, I'm confident that satisfied there's no bat involved here. So ball tracking when ready, please. Okay, still building ball tracking. Pistol, it's on the way. Directed path on the way shortly, fellas.
I don't think we even need ball tracker.
Oh, the field's gone back out. I mean,
absolutely burner review there, and yep.
Still waiting. Still coming, Gavin?
He's going to get a pardon from the governor. Don't worry about my last meal. I'm batting on.
There we go. It's coming now. There we go, Brisbane. And impact is in line and wickets is umpire's call. And I'll get you to stay with your original decision. Stand by.
It was the swinger. That's why Ashwin went upstairs. He knew it was close and never really thought.
Well, I tell you what, I need a new set of eyes.
You don't often get LBs wrong, June. And you were right, it's not out, but it's closer than you thought.
but with the DRS though, I think captain's got to realise, did the umpire have a shocker? Or was that just so bad, that decision? Then use the DRS, it's 50-50.
I'm worried about ball tracking, if that's clipping the stumps.
Had a good game, I reckon, poor rifle.
Getting a bit of curve, Ravi Ashwin.
And that's what brought him into demanding that DRS.
Yeah, he convinced Rahane I'm swinging it.
Didn't it actually bite off the pitch a little bit? It looked like it.
Good bit of bowling, nonetheless.
It's kept low.
It's well bowled.
Well, this is the game, I reckon, for India. With Ashwin, depending on Jadeja coming into the bowling lineup, but for India, if they want to win this test match, I just think it all lies with Ashwin here.
Well, send Bumrah off the field. He's back on the field. Jadeja's off the field as well. So the troops are down.
Well, they've got to bowl Australia out for 200 less, really.
Yeah.
There's 30 overs left in those. There's plenty of time. That's not a problem. Well, what India have to do is they have to take their half chances in the field.
Yeah.
Australia got 3 run-outs. That turn. So that will complete the end of the over. 12 done. 2 for 40. fielder. Mid-on. Saini to continue. That's bounced. And that's seamed. And that's where Saini's got to be. He can't afford to bong that short wide one, even though he's got a deep point. He went for 7 fours and a 6 in his 13 overs in the first innings, but he needs to do a bit of a Pat Cummins here. Hit that length hard and get Stephen Smith, an Australian batsman, like that.
He's not that sort of bowler, though, Saini. I know he wants to be consistent, but he'll bowl the good ball, but he'll bowl a 4 ball as well. That's what he's got to improve in his game, but he's got talent.
I didn't think he needs to have 2 back. Steve Smith will get inside him if he drops it a fraction short. Pull him way behind square, give him that protection. It's that 4 ball that's going to hurt him.
Well, he's got the deep point there, so that's the ball really he really does.
Yeah.
Bowl poorly at times, the short, wide one.
Can only play to 6 o'clock tonight, local time. So, with 29 overs to go after these 3 balls, I don't think they'll get that in. So, you're not going to get the full allotment.
Okay. I'd say this is such a huge moment in the game because you've got Anthony Wade in next, who's under pressure. Cameron Green hasn't scored a lot of runs. And with Tim Payne, who's a good player, but
went for that. Just skidded through. Just got a feeling that Smith was just looking for that shot. Well, the difference between these 2 batsmen and Indian top boys, they're looking for runs all the time. They're letting that scoreboard tick over. Not worried about defending or staying in.
yeah, Rahane and Pujara just got into a big hole, didn't they?
Good over from Saini. Just got to finish it off, build the pressure. Australia did it well against the Indian batsmen, and all of a sudden there was a flurry of wickets. Picked up 2, 3 quick ones. One stage they were 3 for 11. They lost. Replay one of them. That's when they don't need a wicket off the no ball.
So a third umpire called that. Just.
It's obvious, guys, excuse me, that Steve Smith is trying to stay leg side of the ball a lot more. His movement to outside off stump is nowhere near as excessive as it has been. So he's aware of those 2 men on the leg side, and he's looking to play his offside game, which he did in the first innings as well. Hit a lot of balls spur the wicket through the offside. So that's a good sign for him.
Good over. It is indeed 2 for 41 at the Sydney Cricket Ground. As drinks come onto the ground, we'll take our break. Brought to you by Canadian Club.
टीवी कुछ ज्यादा ही चल रहा है आजकल।
रिपीट में रवीश कुमार तुम देखो, नींद में सूर्यवंशम के डायलॉग तुम बड़बड़ाओ, गंगा जल कैस पे अमित कुमार दुखी होता है बाथरूम में जाकर रोते हो तुम, टुल्लू पंप से ताजा पानी निकाल के तुलसी में जल तुमको चढ़ाना होता है, इमर्सन रॉड जब तक धुआं न छोड़े आत्मा स्नान नहीं करती तुम्हारी, रुमाल तक प्रेस करवाते हो मिश्रा जी, टीवी हम ज्यादा देखते।
नए साल में रिश्तों का गुड लक है, कहानियां नहीं, ये तो अलबेले किस्सों की गुल्लक है। तो फिर चलिए मिलते हैं सोनी लिव पर।
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain of JL50 speaking. We are experiencing heavy turbulence due to bad weather.
इस रिकॉर्डिंग का टाइम क्या नोट किया गया है?
20th August
1984.
जो प्लेन हमें मिला है वो 35 साल पहले कोलकाता एयरपोर्ट से उड़ा था।
अब सवाल ये है कि इन 35 सालों में ये प्लेन था।
क्रैश के इम्पैक्ट की वजह से प्लेन का जो कॉकपिट वाला हिस्सा है वो अलग होकर हिल के ऊपर ही रह गया। वी हैव टू सर्वाइवर्स फ्रॉम देयर।
ये कुछ आईडीज हैं जो 35 साल पुरानी है।
ये सारी चीजें आइडेंटिकल जरूर है लेकिन असली नहीं है। बस इतना पता करना है कि ये सेटअप क्यों किया जा रहा है।
मेरा नाम बीहू घोष है और मैं JL 50 की पायलट हूँ।
ये प्लेन कोलकाता से पिछली बार 35 साल पहले टेक ऑफ किया था।
आज तारीख क्या है?
August 3rd, 2019।
बॉडी काउंट एग्जैक्टली 35 साल पुराने लिस्ट से मैच करते हैं।
ये वो लोग नहीं है करूंगा। इट्स जस्ट नॉट पॉसिबल। मैं बस इतना जानना चाहता हूँ, इसे टाइम ट्रैवल की तरह स्टेज क्यों किया जा रहा है? स्टेज नहीं किया जा रहा शांतनु, ये टाइम ट्रैवल है। क्या टाइम ट्रैवल पॉसिबल है? सिर्फ किताबों में। JL
Sydney, thank you so much once again for that Italian glory.
We'll have to lock in at the ram again and hold a long session, keep it tight and get wickets at the same time.
I think he's going to be a danger if he bowls at the pace he's been bowling in this spell so far. He's bowled 2 overs, 1 for 5, but he's pushing the ball through a lot quicker than the first innings, and it looks dangerous.
Catching on the wicket there, the non-striker, short leg and the catching mid-wicket. Toss, puts it away. As you normally would do. That's just a freebie. You don't often see that from Ashwin.
No, first ball after drinks break. And Labuschagne put it away well as a gift though. And you're right, Ashwin rarely bowls those sorts of deliveries. That was bad ball as well.
It's cost Ashwin, hasn't he? His inconsistency of length already in the match. He's either pulled it down or there's that juicy full toss to start the over.
Not sure what he had to drinks break, but hasn't gone down well.
Labuschagne and Smith, they're busy batsmen. They always want to score for every delivery, so they always put the pressure on the bowler. And when you've got a lead, just chipping away at it, and fielding side can feel that pressure.
Yeah, he just felt with the Indian innings that when Pujara and Rahane were batting together, the scoreboard was just going nowhere. And if they'd lost a couple of wickets, they were going to be in trouble, and that's exactly what happened. Obviously, the quality of the bowling was exceptional by the Australians, so it wasn't easy to score, but I think the intent wasn't quite there with those two. Shubman Gill, he looked to score, played well, played Rishabh Pant, he looked to score.
Well, experience will tell the Australian batsmen they don't want to get bogged down with Ashwin. Got to keep at him and trying to score, whether it's singles, whatever it may be, but look to score off most deliveries. This time it's in the gap. He's got a couple. That's 3 and he'll get it. That's good running. Up for Australia. Also
Sony Live brings you unlimited gaming fun with more than 50 free games. Play solo and challenge yourself, or crush other players in exciting live matches and win massive cash prizes worth lakhs of rupees. Ready to win? Download the Sony Live app now.
He just needs to get his line and length right. It doesn't matter where you put the field in that over. They would have found the gap.
Saying his last over was a good one. It's a maiden. Top of off. Slightly a little bit wider of the crease, Saini. Last over, just angling into the right-handed batsman. Catches in the mid-wicket and backward a square. Looking for that one just to jag back to and hold up. Did Steve Smith in the over before, hit the top of the bat.
Labuschagne got 91 in the first innings and didn't hit a boundary in front of square leg. So they've effectively taken away his boundary scoring leg side.
Oh, just short. It was there for the taking. Rahane just didn't carry to him. It's very similar to the Cameron Green, but that one Cameron Green's obviously carried.
Yeah.
Same position.
Got good hands too, Rahane.
Again. It's more like Shubman Gill getting out to Cameron Green late yesterday, driving on the length. We saw Harness just drop short there of Rahane at Gully. Shouldn't do yesterday. It's a similar. Didn't really go at it, but it carried just a bit more in the pitch. Didn't really go at it as much as Labuschagne did.
And he's taking a couple of nice catches, Cameron Green in there. Good mover for a big fella. Got two hands for it too, that was a key. Rahane's basically in the same position, but just doesn't quite carry.
That's nice. Put away nicely.
Well, if he's going to bowl the short one, saying he's got to bowl like he means it. Got to get it higher than that, put more venom in it. Just sat up there for Labuschagne. Good shot, really good shot. Yeah, that's a nothing length. About belly button high, maybe a bit higher. Plays that shot really well. Just rides the bounce. Swivels on it.
Took 57. Scored another one over the offside.
He has,
that catching.
That's a better feel
on the pitch there, and non-striker's gone.
We've still got the short mid wicket, so if one holds up, if you catch it in there, in the box there on the leg side.
Just allows him to have more, just a fraction outside off stump, doesn't it?
Just sense that Smith and Labuschagne, they're like a good tennis doubles combination, aren't they? They seem to know each other's, the areas they score in, they back each other's calls. There's a lot of symphony between the way they bat when they bat together. They share the language of batting.
Woodbridge and Woodford.
Yeah. Roger and Bev Wall back in the day. The McNamee and McNamara.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, that's an inside edge. Thought it nearly got through that gap between bat and pad. That's why he's asking, did he get an inside edge? Looked like he did.
And it saved him.
No, there's no.
Well, we're not going to burn another one.
So much you can fit on the barbecue.
Oh, it has to. Yeah, maybe outside the line. I'll tell you what, that was close.
That was closer than the other ones.
Nice. Already signs of Ashwin's appreciating bowling to 4-5 rather than 3-6.
Yeah, just a bit more
bowling
leeway, for, a bit more room for error, and can bowl a more attacking line outside off stump.
That's well played though from Marnus there. Down the wicket, looking to get down the wicket, look busy. Pushes it into the gap even though he got beaten on the inside edge. A couple of balls with 4.
Nice.
16 done, 2 for 60.
Cricket fans, please wear a face mask at all times unless you are consuming food and beverages. Please stay seated in your allocated section and row listed on your ticket. 2 seats must be kept between groups. Ask the staff member for help if you need it. Change the bowler for India at the Paddington end. Returning the bowl, Jasprit Bumrah.
The lead now 154 for Australia. Three catches in there on the leg side. Two wickets fall for Australia. If you haven't seen them, first one, great delivery there. Siraj to Bukowski.
And David Warner looking to go the slog sweep. And it was given out, and the judge to be just clipping the top of the stumps. You can see the bounce, but got it right, poor rifle.
Opponents are going to square up Will Pucovski. The Bush Telegraph will say he has a stiff front pad and comes across his front pad with his bat, as does Cameron Green. They're both outstanding prospects, but opposition are going to target that front pad knowing that there's a defensive flaw. If you lose your front shoulder, you get exposed to something that might leave you, as it did there with Bukowski in the second innings.
Pace is just down a bit. Jasprit Bumrah, first one was 130, second one 131.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
that
sort of
zip that you normally expect.
He's been off the field, so I'm not sure what niggle he's carrying. Maybe it might be the backwash of that first innings where he slipped in the outfield. Not sure. But you're right, he's not. He's probably 8 Ks down on his top pace.
That's through the gap. There wasn't much of a gap. It was probably a couple of metres. He's good enough, Marnus. That's his 5th boundary.
Well, Junior's got it right. If he's around 130, 135k, when his main method is to hit your pads and your stumps, he's not bowling quick enough to defeat the downstroke. And here he's searching for the stumps, but Marnus read it beautifully. It wasn't quick enough to defeat this downstroke. And he's controlled the ball well past square leg for 4.
Good shot, he looks in good touch. Gavaskar, he's timed the ball nice, and his attitude looks really aggressive. He's putting a lot of pressure on Indian bowlers. They bowl a bad ball, he's putting it away.
You sense the Australians are feeling that as well. India are just not quite firing on all the cylinders. Bumrah's down on pace. Forced the bowling change of Saini.
Jadeja's not there. This is the game here, this partnership. If this gets away from India, it's a long way back.
Leads 158 now. .17 overs gone, 2 for 64. Let's have a look at Will Pucovski in the
Going to have a lot of bowling to do, Ashwin. Started off well, first 2 overs, then just a touch expensive in his third. He's really got to block one and take the odd wicket from there. Because the lead's already 159. A partnership is starting to build here. 30 between Labuschagne and Smith. Labuschagne looking very good. Alongside me, Glenn McGrath, congratulations. You've raised, what, $2 million now?
Yeah, no, it's incredible, the support from not only in Australia, from here in India, and around the world. So, yeah, no, it's been an incredible test match, the support so far. But there's still more to go. So if you still haven't got your pink seat, virtual pink seat, you can still jump online, pinktest.com.au, and grab one and support people going through breast cancer. But this game, it's still not easy to score runs out there, though this partnership, as you said, is progressing along. India is sort of looking to attack, but still have people back to save boundaries, aren't they? And there we have at the bottom of the screen, closing in on 110,000 virtual seats. What's Eden
the new stadium in Ahmedabad. Clears the infield. That's long been his strategy against Ashwin. So Steve Smith decided what worked for him in the first innings will work for him in the second. Realize too, you take on Ashwin early, when you knock one big bowler out of the attack, it makes things easier.
Using his feet, Steve Smith, that 100 in the first innings has given him that confidence. In the previous 2 matches, he looked a little tentative, a little scratchy, but this is the Steve Smith that we've come to know. And a single, just pushed down the ground. It's 71 for 2.
A reminder that please remain in the seats and stand you have been allocated. When you leave your seat, take those directly to leave your number. Your seats have plenty of food and beverage outlets, as well as bathrooms and other amenities. So if you want your seat, you do not need to use one stands. Please follow the direction when the menu starts and help us to keep everyone safe today.
Four and over, Australia have been very positive, but India put their 2 best bowlers on. Dressing too, Bumrah's going at 4 and over. Ashwin a little more than 4 and over.
Yeah, and the pink test, it's been an incredible 13th test, and there it is, Sachin presenting with his signed 200th test shirt. And if you want to be part of it, you can jump on that website there, pinktest.com.au. You can buy a virtual seat, have your name on it, you can post it. A lot of our commentators here have done that exact thing too, and a lot of my friends around India have also done that too. Steve Smith looking solid, but you can see down the bottom there, closing in on $2.2 million, which is phenomenal, especially after the last 12 months with COVID. A lot of charities, foundations around the world have really struggled, and this will make a big difference in a lot of people's lives.
And you're training nurses, aren't you? I think just to make that clear, you're training nurses to help people with breast cancer.
No, we employ nurses, so we do provide upskilling and training, but we have 154 McGrath breast care nurses around Australia. They've supported more than 91,000 families, individuals going through. So we still need, we feel we need about 250 nurses. But you can see there, who bought a seat? Ajit, my good mate, fast bowler. It's always the fast bowlers that help each other out, isn't it? We need to get part of the fast bowling cartel. But yeah, you know, it's the friends all around India have been absolutely incredible.
All we need for this test match to become even more memorable is for Australia to lose 6 this evening and India knock them off tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that 165 on this pitch seems a lot more. But once you build a bit of a partnership, which we've seen these two do, it gets a little bit easier. But there's Bumrah. He's got a lot of different bit of variety. That was his knuckleball that they're all bowling nowadays, which is tough to bowl. And this turn could be two. A bit of an over clubbed that throw.
Now the Bharat Army's turn pink. For you, Glenn, you might have actually, if you'd taken a few fewer wickets against India, they might have actually turned up even more people in pink.
Oh no, I get good support from here in India, but plus also at the ground. Everyone loves turning up in pink. It's a colour that makes everyone happy. A lot of energy, a lot of atmosphere. And that's the final ball of the 19th over, 73 for 2.
एक अंदर आया था, एक जो ये डाला और एक ऐसा डाला। जैसे एक और था।
It's a huge lead that India will be disappointed with 244. 94 is a big lead. Pat Cummins, I thought, was just outstanding, just showing everybody why he's the #1 ranked bowler. Gill 50, Pujara 50, not a lot else there. India lost 5 for 21 in a phase. Got to be very concerned about those collapses. You can't take a wicket if you don't bowl. I think something happened in the last ball of the previous over as well, when Labuschagne was in the way and Ashwin could stop the ball. That's his way of saying.
Yeah, just pretending to bowl the ball, just to annoy the batsman, just to see what he's going to do. But maybe he thought he should have stopped that previous single off the last ball. And the lead's growing to 168. They need a wicket here. They've got a couple of injuries in their lineup, which is a concern. Rashid Pant and also Jadeja.
Yeah, just in case you didn't catch the action. You're wondering what's Ridhiman Saha doing standing up to the spinners. Rishabh Pant had gone for scans, and then this happened to Ravindra Jadeja. We saw him sitting just outside the change room for a long time with that left thumb heavily strapped, the left hand heavily strapped. So remember, he's not available to bowl, so India really hamstrung.
And also what he adds to the batting lineup as well, both those guys. But here you can see taping that up. But normally when you get hit on the end of the thumb like that, that's nasty. That's how, well, batsmen always say, that's how you fracture your thumb. That's how you get a break. And fingers crossed for Jadeja, he's okay. Because he's since he's come into the team, he's been a massive player. But we hear he's just gone for scans now. He was sitting outside for quite a bit, but he's off for scans now, so fingers crossed it's okay.
Something we don't see very often, we've seen a lot of in this test match, which is Ashwin getting driven through the covers of the back foot. You can understand players coming down the ground using their feet and driving through off, but he's been driven off the back foot way too often in this game.
Yeah, it's just the length. If you get it slightly wrong on a pitch like this, that's as slow as this Sydney pitch is, it just sort of sits up and allows the batsman to get back. They're just checking this, but I think it's probably okay. Rohit Sharma has done well. He's keen, he's running around, he's diving. He's been good in the field.
He's got to score a lot of runs in the second innings as well. Just wonder if the use of the feet and the sweep has just messed the length a little bit for Ashwin. It's fidgety, this Labuschagne. It's always fidgety, he's always talking. even if he's at the non-striker's end. Better ball. Much better ball. Still 4 came off it. It's 77 for 2. No wicket so far for Bumrah in his 7th over. Just kept a little bit low, just on the issue with Labuschagne. He's a chatty guy, it's always talking the non-strikers in. Sometimes picks up a conversation with the batsman from his position at short leg as well. Just wonder if he'll one day even actually do commentary on his own batting like the West Indian Carlisle Best used to. I can imagine him batting against you. There's Bagra up to his usual tricks, running into bowl to me. I've punched it on the back foot for 4, even if he hasn't. Runs behind him, Steve Smith. A little shot of them in the first 2 Test matches was very positive from the moment he came out in the first innings.
Yeah, so nice drive down the ground. And again, that sort of gets you going. And when Ashwin came on, he had 14 or 15 to his name, and that really helped, I think. He looked to be positive, lifted Ashwin over the top, but just scored all around the field, and to bring up his 27th 100 is quite remarkable, considering he had scores of, what, 1, although they are 0 and 8. I'd be, number 11's probably happy with those numbers, but a batsman of his quality. And then that 1-3-1, which set up that first innings. And now they're looking to build a sizable lead on a wearing pitch that's just staying down a little bit. But shows that if you get in, you can still score runs.
Vast majority of those hundreds are against India and England. 2 countries it seems to enjoy playing against. Record against some of the other countries not quite as impressive. But then on this, almost every great player in the world, you look at their records, there'll be a little skew somewhere. Somebody hasn't scored in India, somebody hasn't scored in South Africa. So typically with Indian batsmen, the record in South Africa tends to drop. With some of the Australian batsmen, record in India tended to drop. Good shot, as quirky a cover drive as there can be, but it fetches 4.
Yeah, that was nice. Bumrah had been keeping it fairly tight. That one he just pushed a little bit wider. But Smith was up to the challenge. You can see he gets his hands out there, just hits through nicely. Doesn't try to overhit it. And there's a big gap in the covers. That's where India want him to play. If it bounces a bit more. But you could probably say that came out of the sweet spot, out of the screws, as we say.
Quirkiness comes afterwards like that, not when he's actually hitting the ball. It's 81 for 2.
Please remember when sitting 1.5 metres apart and practicing physical distancing, you may help you keep yourselves to the safe. Stay safe before the queues and walk to Central Station on the Albert T to Bridge. Wearing a mask on public transport is mandatory. Maintain physical distancing on board and while waiting to board. We hope you enjoy your day and please remain safe.
And we saw Bumrah going at about 4 and over. Now Ashwin, 6 overs for 28. He's been taken off. Siraj comes long, 4 overs, 1 for 11. He's been impressive in this series.
Yeah, now that he has. There's probably a bit of a toss-up between him and Saini down in Melbourne. He got the nod, and I think he impressed straight away. He's picked up the wicket of Pekoski this innings so far. He looks very, very confident the way he goes about himself, holds himself tall. He's not shy at all. Good to see fast ball. Well, that's what you want from your fast bowler. It's about body language, isn't it?
Have you ever seen a shy fast bowler? I mean, you were not shy.
I was a little shy, wasn't I?
You were not shy of a word.
When I first started, I was shy, mate. But it's not about what you say, it's how you hold yourself, your body language, and show up for everyone else in the field, for your teammates.
Shot. Good stop. They say 4. Well done, Navdeep Saini.
Yeah, good fielding by the quick. Sometimes it's nice. Better to put in a big dive rather than chase it all the way to the fence.
I thought you were going to have a word in favour of someone of your fraternity.
I know that's just standard fielding for the fast bowlers. You know, they've got to talk us up when we can.
Yeah, Steve Smith got a century in the first innings. Labuschagne fell short. Out for 91, but he's looked really confident in this innings. Looking very good, 36 of 48 so far, 91 in the first innings.
He's been very good with a pull shot, very controlled, kept it down. And then was looking for anything slightly short from Ashwin just to put through the covers. And again, both sides of the wicket, and that one there, just there wasn't too many lofted shots. And a couple from these two batsmen in the first innings.
Proper South African style, isn't it, minus Labuschagne?
He sounds like an Aussie to me.
It's an interesting story, though. Came to Australia as a 10-year-old, didn't speak English, only spoke Afrikaans. Then started to play around. But it's interesting in Australia, and I've heard this from a couple of people, including from Lisa Sthalekar, that if you play sport in Australia, you get accepted by the community very, very quickly. She said she found, because she was playing cricket around, I think Marnus has found that because he's playing cricket around, get accepted and immerse yourself in the community very quickly. That's nice to see.
No, we're very friendly people, us Australians. Once we're off the playing arena, we play hard and aggressive out in the middle, but we're all good. Like to think we're good people off, but very sporting culture, very outdoorsy, very active, and that's what you want.
The good thing is I've only met you guys off the field. I've never met you on it, which is wonderful. Lead by 177. Partnership 48. It's a really good one. India were just sniffing an opportunity when these two came together at 35 for 2. Australia had lost both openers, especially Warner was starting to look good. 35 for 2. India would have been thinking, right, if we can get 4 or 5 this evening, then we're back into the game. This partnership now 48.
Yeah, the Australians came out this morning bowling to be quite aggressive. They bowled short, quick on this pitch. Good fielding by Ashwin again. He got across nicely there. I was looking at the pitch, and the ball's getting a little bit older. It's 22 overs old, and it's 83 for 2.
Again in the 8th over. Let's keep an eye on Bumrah's speeds here. Just get the feeling he's a little down on his pace and intensity. .134 that one. Early in the day, the Australian fast bowlers, the bigger built Australian fast bowlers, pounded the deck.
Yeah, and they're quite a bit taller as well, so they use that height, especially Mitchell Starc and Pat Cummins. They ran in, they bowled quick. It's on a fairly slow pitch, and I think just lifted the Australian team. They got a couple of wickets because of the short ball and variable bounce. A couple of nasty balls there too.
That's a nice ball. That's a nice ball. The batsman acknowledges that. I think we must just cut Steve Smith's reactions to music and make good pantomime.
Yeah, so it goes to show there's still something, and it's around that length. And that's too good, that ball. And Steve Smith's happy to acknowledge it, whereas Bumrah's not really too fast. He just wanders back. It gets a bit like that when you're behind in the match and you're trying to find your first wicket for the innings. Yeah, but that spell by the Australians this morning showed that extra height, the pace, the bounce. And I think that's one of the reasons why they ended up bowling India out for 244. The aggression they showed. They haven't showed that much aggression this whole series. And yeah, they now lead by 177 after a 94-run lead between the two innings.
That was 138. He's averaged 136 kilometers an hour in the second innings, 137 in the first, so it's not that different.
Now it's just the length he's bowling and where he delivers it from. He's bowling a fuller length. The Australians, quite a bit taller, they really let the ball go from high. And you can see his speeds there. Average high 130s. Not much on offer for pace in this pitch. Really got to work hard. And sort of, they've got a leg side field, bowling fairly straight, hoping to get a little bit of variable bounce. We saw one bounce a bit more. We've seen a couple keep a little low, but nothing that's unsettled the batsman too much. And you can see here, you only have to look at Steve Smith's reaction. He'll say, oh, that one kept low, oh, that one bounced, well bowled. And you can see where those two landed. The one that was kept low was a little bit shorter. Oh, and there's another one. Only one underground, 83 for 2.
Had the partnership of 83 balls, a couple of quiet overs. Labuschagne 36, Smith 22. The contributions are interesting. Smith 22, Labuschagne 25. You never know what you become, though. Steve Smith used to bowl leggies, became a batsman. Marnus Labuschagne's a batsman, he's bowling leggies.
Yeah, they just want to be alike, don't they? Especially Marnus. Oh, Steve Smith bowls a few leggies. Oh, I'll bowl a few. But he's actually taken some important wickets with his leggies. He doesn't bowl it in a match as often as probably he could, but with Australia's bowling attack of 4 quality frontline bowlers, not needed that often.
And having said that, if you've got 4 quality bowlers, then if your fifth can give you 5 or 6 overs in the day when required, or if the track is really turning, you want someone to spin the ball, Labuschagne's good enough.
Exactly right. And that there just looked like a little bit of a wobble seam, or just 45 degrees held the seam. There's still a little bit something in this pitch to keep the bowlers interested. They've got to keep running in hard, keep giving everything. Suraj's playing in only his second test match. He'll be running in all day.
stop. Gustav Loh to his left. Lots of people here. Oh, look who's here.
Old captain. Yeah, he's looking a little bit greyer than we used to see him on the field. But
where's his pink tie?
Yeah, I know. I'll have to ask him about that one. He was. We've been good mates for a while. He was best man at my first wedding, and came when my wife Sarah and I got married. He came to the wedding as well. But,
you gave him a lot of wickets.
I gave him a lot of runs as well because I got him to so many hundreds and got him to a double hundred, and he got out on me all the time. So he's got a lot to thank me for.
I must tell you the story Glenn told me some time ago. Glenn said Steve Waugh's got 32 test hundreds, 6 of those are mine. How, you would not strike a 6 times?
And he's double hundred in the West Indies. I was wearing, it was bouncing, it was quick, but I toughed it out just so he could get his 200. And then when I was looking good, he got out of me. So, yeah, what can you do?
Oh, Glenn McGrath, the batsman, is truly flowered on this commentary stint. I think he's got a little too much on Ashwin, probably be 3. .50 of the partnership comes up. As I said, it's come at a very crucial time. Coming together, as I said a little while back, at 35 for 2. It's a session that could have a big bearing on where this match is going. While they haven't snatched it away, Australia tugging at it a little more strongly now.
And there's still 2 full days to go after this. We haven't seen Test matches series go into the 5th day.
I think this one will.
Yeah, I think it will. There's that variable bounce again. Just on that length.
I'm just looking at that, and that's why I think even someone like Navdeep Saini's got a big role to play. Saini, Siraj, they've got to keep pounding that turf and wait for the track to do something for them. Much like Hazelwood did, Cummins did more effectively.
They're just lacking just a little bit of penetration. The Australian bowlers seem to bowl just a little bit quicker, and their extra height allowed them to get a bit more out of this pitch. Indian bowlers have bowled a lot fuller, and that's the end of the 24th, 86 for 2.
Smith's contribution 22, Labuschagne 28. Last man out, Warner, LBW Ashwin 13, trying to play the sweep shot that hit him low, but the ball tracker almost had it clearing the stumps, just sort of nipping the bails. It likes bounce, the ball tracker.
Exactly right, but that was thudding into the top of the stump, so to me that's not umpire's call, that's out. If they're not out, then we're going to struggle, so
exactly.
The right decision was made by the umpire.
That very call, had the umpire said not out, Warner would have been not out. And that's something I think everyone's got to cast an eye on.
That is middle stump.
It's one of my favourite views in world cricket, is from the old pavilion at the Sydney Cricket Ground, the members' pavilion, where to its right, the ladies' pavilion. There's a time when you had a dress code at the ladies' pavilion. I can almost imagine. Do you still have a dress code in the ladies?
Yeah.
Still do?
Yeah. Well, it's an Australian dress code, so
okay.
Probably slightly different from anywhere else in the world, from England or...
First time I went to Australia, I saw the customs officers in shorts, and I said, this was cool country. Customs officers in shorts.
Yeah, dress code, you have to wear t-shirt, shorts and thongs at least. Yeah, the match summary, around about that 3 runs and over. There's been a couple of times where the bowlers have really built some pressure and they've struggled to go along at 2 runs and over. But these two, they love batting together. They love spending time together off the field. You'd think they'd get sick of it after a while. And here they are spending another fair bit more time together out in the middle. You can see where they sit in partnerships for most runs since 2019. Labuschagne features twice there, but Taylor and Williamson also up there. 99, 92, 69, it's okay, isn't it?
Nicholson, Williamson too, they had a big one the other day against Pakistan. 672 runs, just 6 innings. Kohli and Rahane have batted a lot together. Burns and Root, that's interesting. Rory Burns, another player with a style very much his own.
Yeah, since 2019, maybe that was a few years ago.
What India have managed to do, they've not got wickets, is just curb the scoring a little bit. That's all right in the immediate short term. That's not going to win them the game. It's going to win them the game is wickets. That's interesting. He's only left one ball alone. The yellows are defended. He's played quite a few shots. It's been a positive innings, 40 or 56.
Yeah, a lot of green ones on his pads. He likes it straight there. Variable bounce hasn't impacted.
A lot of those would have been Ashwin.
Only one ball left alone. It was quite wide, but you see a lot of greens around that red that he left alone. It's a good scoring option as well. But, some batsmen like feeling bat on ball.
Well, like back rooms them balls, don't they? Yellow, green. Got another 17 overs today. Got to end this game though in about half an hour. Set it up. Australia lead by 181, probably lead by about 200 going into the last day. Shane Warne for 200 was enough to have a go at the opposition. 250 said would be enough. But you never listen to people like Warne and McGrath because they look at the game differently.
You've always got to be positive and think you can win from any situation. There's the Sydney
But just because
skyline.
you could, not everyone can.
But you've got to back yourself. But the Sydney skyline there, Sydney Tower, over those two iconic stands at the SCG. Shot through the covers. Steve Smith, he likes it there, doesn't he? He might have been on the moving forward when he hit that. 4 runs. That's 91 for 2.
No ball.
To make things worse, it's a no ball. He's got to bowl it again.
Yeah, now full of delivery. Steve Smith was onto that quickly. Let's have a look. Yeah, fair enough.
Well, there were 2 transgressions there. He went over, and Labuschagne was what, 2 feet over. Should just run him out. It is the end of the over now. 92 for 2.
Give up.
Siraj to continue. Again, like the first innings, these two looking very good.
The 2 pillars that have supported Australia's batting for, what, recent years, shall we say that? Labuschagne more recently than Steve Smith. But so often they've looked Australia to these two and let them down again. Just need something a bit special, don't they, India? Whether that be with ball in hand, something in the field, a brilliant catch, just something to lift the spirits. To look a little down, understandably. Lead is edging towards 200.
You can see shoulders suddenly drooping a little bit more than what it was when Australia were 2 down. These guys have added more than 50 now. 58 now, and fairly quickly, 98 balls as well. You're right, they need something special.
Played slightly differently, Labuschagne, today against Ashwin. We'll perhaps highlight that point a little later, but as far as the partnership goes, it's more of the same for two high-class players. Good mates, and they love spending time out on the pitch together as well. So as you'd expect, nothing too aggressive in terms of field play, just a slip in a gully, ring field. But they've still found a way of scoring at a reasonable rate. Australia rotated the strike well. So something a little special. Will it be Siraj? Mohammad Siraj, who's bowled so well in the series in the last couple of games.
Right on. The moment looks like they're just waiting a little bit, just being patient. It's a tough place to be. You know you're conceded a lead of 94. You want to get wickets, but you don't want the game to go away from you too quickly. 188 ahead already. Still 8 wickets in hand. 2 days to go after this. Plenty of time left in this game.
That's good. Excellent bowling. Also need some energy in the field and some encouragement. It's easy to encourage when you've got a side 10 for 2 and you're on top. It's not quite so easy to show energy and good body language and showing the opposition that you're still very much in the game, even though the game is drifting away from you. And you look at your senior players. You look at someone like Bumrah, rotate his bowling spells, try and give him short spells so that he can come back in and perhaps bowl another one a little later. Just something to try and transfer some energy to the opposition.
Jadeja not out there either. That's a 3rd-day pitch or a 4th-day pitch. There is something in the pitch. It becomes even more dangerous. That's a big blow for India as well. But they've got to keep going. You've seen it before in this series, a wicket or two. Things change very quickly.
Finds the gap, desperate dive. .96 for 2. Navdeep Saini then. 5 overs, 21 runs. I quite like the look of Navdeep Saini. First time I've really seen him. I like the fact that he's got a no bowler, but I've faced a lot of bowling. I like his action, fluid action. Bowls with a bit of height and a bit of pace. Yeah, hits the deck pretty hard, so something to like very much about Navdeep Saini. Bowling resources, of course, for India are being tested right now with the injuries on the tour and in this game. But it's an opportunity for him, talking about someone making a name for themselves, opportunity for Navdeep Saini.
I think that's always been his strength. Coming into the setup, pace is something that's always been talked about of Saini. It's probably the flattest pitch or the slowest pitch of this series to bowl on, and he'll learn with this experience. He's grown in confidence after that wicket he got in the first innings. All the white ball cricket that he's had over the last few months, sometimes the confidence can take a little bit of a beating.
Yeah, and also you have to take in the reality of where he's at. For the first time in the series, he's bowling to Labuschagne and Smith, who are both very much on top of their game. First 2 games, you'd have said that they look very vulnerable with the bat. Wickets will continue to fall. So this is about as tough as it gets in terms of this Test match series. He's leaked a few boundaries in the early part of his first spell. Give him a chance. That's the way. Get a batsman across. That's it. That's the way. Bit straighter. That's a bit square. A bit straighter. Full face.
He's been watching you, Nick, on School of Cricket.
You need to do some analysis on that.
It's always a special moment. You work hard for that moment. Even the first wicket started a bit tentatively, which is understandable. You could see just growing confidence after he got that first wicket. That's his ability. He has that ability to bowl full, quick through the air. Ishant Sharma for a number of years has done a job for India. Similar styles, tallish guy, bit quicker than Ishant, but will learn going forward. Certainly has the ability, the potential.
And tell us about, there'll be a few more bowling resources still available. It's still impressing.
That's the other thing. I think it's a little bit stretched at the moment. Suddenly, a year back, you would think that Saini and Siraj and Shardul Thakur, those were the backup guys. Suddenly with a few injuries, they've become the guys who've come in the team now, with Shami not here, Ishant Sharma not here.
Nicely bowled. Yeah, just a little bit of movement. Good length too.
Bowling figures for India. No wicket for Bumrah yet or Saini. Speeds, both Bumrah and Saini can really crank it up. Siraj, zippy enough. It's been that kind of deck. I don't think we're going to get a lot out of the pitch.
It's the only thing I think about now. If I was Captain Rahane, who's had a terrific time as captain. What about that in just a moment? 97 for 2. Quite familiar scorecard. Summary: Australia with Labuschagne and Smith dominating. India, Pujara back in the runs, and that's an important 50 for him. He'd love to have gone on and made an even more significant contribution, but It's not been his series so far compared to a couple of years ago, but he spent some time at the crease there. Shubman Gill continues to impress, and wickets for Cummins, Hazelwood. So what can India do? I would say a burst from Bumrah, just something, even just 2 or 3 overs, round the wicket, over the wicket, short ball, set a man back deep, try and do something a little different. That's one option. The other option is to do what they're doing and try and be patient, set ring fields and wait for the mistake. I just think now with the lead somewhere near 191, you need to try and break this partnership. So I'd probably accept leaking a few runs and just give a spell of 3 or 4 overs from Bumrah and say if you can't get a wicket, that's you for the day.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. Somehow try and prize a wicket out tonight. Whether Bumrah's bowled too many overs, not quite sure. Just finished a spell. Even Siraj could do that, or Saini. But it's okay to sacrifice a couple of boundaries at this stage if you can prize out a wicket. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day tomorrow.
Oh, the weather's like that. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? Fantastic ground to play at. And the sun's out and the pitch is good. It's a little bit of uneven bounce, but India haven't quite got as much because of the taller bowlers of Australia.
You could see they've kept the runs down at the moment, and Australian batsmen work hard. You can't see at this point where a wicket's going to come from. Maybe take a gamble somewhere.
That's my point really about whether it's Bumrah or someone. As a batsman at this point, what you want almost is what you're seeing. It's ring field, and you're waiting to get waiting for you to make a mistake. Sometimes you just put an unorthodox field or do something a little different. It can just unhinge the mind a little bit. Why has he done that? Why has he put a man there? And that can sometimes just be enough to make the breakthrough.
Especially with, what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes left in the day, 12 minutes left in the day. Already saw Nathan Lyon pad up, so Australia is just thinking to conserve as many wickets as they can. But it's clear, India need to break this partnership. It was always going to be a challenge if these two played well. Smith missed out in the first couple of tests. Labuschagne got starts but didn't go on. But in this test, in the first innings in particular, a big 190 odd from Labuschagne, and suddenly Australia got to a score which turned out to be very competitive.
Solid defence, 97 for 2. Big Saini to continue. Well, that might help. Just a little strangle down the leg side. Something just a little different, but it wasn't to be. They need a little bit of luck. Right, some football action for you on the Sony networks. A little later on, the FA Cup third round to kick off at 11 o'clock tonight. Coverage starts at 8 o'clock tonight. So Arsenal-Newcastle, football fan?
Yeah, the best team in the world, Manchester United.
Oh, hey, come on.
Already getting some stick.
Best team in the world, Manchester United. What about that then? What about Manchester City? There you go. Your chance to watch the best side in the world because they're playing against Watford.
It's probably the time we are waking up.
Absolutely, yeah, 1:30. The alarm clocks will just be about ticking off then. 8 o'clock is the coverage, that's tonight, so plenty of football action for you. It's only 10-2. A big following over here in the football, back at home?
Yeah, massive, massive, I think.
Who would be, difficult question to answer, but you can have a go at it. Who do you reckon would be the most supported club in, let's start with Mumbai. Who do you reckon gets more support here from here in English football clubs?
Am I allowed to be biased or?
Well, just get, who do you think apart from Manchester United?
I suppose Liverpool and Manchester United are sort of the biggest history, if you like. So people who've been following football for a long time, those two clubs are the easiest teams to, or have a lot more fans. But over the last few years now, more than a few years, City's obviously come up. Arsenal's always been there. But yeah, I'd have to go Manchester United, isn't it? Some more stick when I get back.
They've done well recently. Manager's done a good job, hasn't he, in the last few weeks, last couple of months. They were struggling a little bit. Solskjaer's done a good job there. I'm not a massive fan of football, even though I come from England, because it's a massive sport where we come from. I do follow now a little bit of Manchester City, but so we're big rivals, aren't we, all of a sudden?
It's not been easy to watch them over the last few years since Sir Alex retired. But hopefully it's getting better.
So can they find a way? Can they make a breakthrough? It all looks very comfortable at the moment for Australia. 98 for 2. Finds the gap. Lovely shot. Super shot. Great deal of control to the shot. And finds the boundary.
Just a touch full. Even on a slowish pitch, gets the timing right. Absolutely right, Nick. Just looks a lot more comfortable for the Australian batsman at this point. Every time there's a little mistake from the Indian bowler, just a touch full, there's field set for it. Labuschagne just good enough to find the gap. Piling on the runs at the moment for Australia, putting them in a really, really strong position.
So lead is 196. Labuschagne one boundary away from his second half century in the match. 91 in the first. He played really well. He'd love to make a big contribution in this second innings if he can. Going for the Yorker. And just one, so he will finish on 47. And that is that. Yep, that is that. Another long day for both sides, but an excellent one for Australia. Firstly with the ball, managed to pick up the 8 remaining wickets, and then the batsmen, in the guise of Stephen Smith and Marnus Labuschagne, can reflect on another good day with the bat for them, and they are very much in control. So the session says 2 for 103, and it puts Australia very much ahead now in this 3rd test match. So work to be done tomorrow for India's bowlers, and then at some point it'll be focus on India's batsmen. Right, let's listen to Cheteshwar Pujara. I think he's going to come and talk to us. Yes, he is. Let's join him.
What was the chat this morning when you trailed by 200?